What's up, everybody? It is I, Tevin El Chapo, Friends Come Be Chop, and we are back with another episode of Chop Logic. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Chop Logic, where we get to the logic of things my own special chop way, hosted by myself, Tevin El Chapo. So first things first, have you subscribed to the channel? Have you seen the things we've been doing? Have you seen the previous episodes? Did you like the videos? Did you like this video? Make sure you do all that, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more episodes and everything like that. Once again, thank you for joining us for another episode, man. Listen, man, that's just the general etiquette of starting my podcast. You know, give you an introduction, give you a nice hello. Make sure that you subscribe, call to action type stuff, right? But see, today's episode, we're talking about shooting etiquette. The do's and don'ts when it comes to shooting content. All right. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of different things that you can do. There's a lot of things that you shouldn't do. So we're going to dive into it today. But like I said, before we go too crazy, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video and make sure to comment below some of your favorite things that you learned today. All right. So first things first, man, I just want to make sure that you say, when it comes to etiquette, you got to make sure that you present yourself as well as possible. Right. So typically, I usually wear all black when it comes to my shoots. Now, whatever you decide to wear, by all means, you can do that if you have branding colors or certain types of things that you want to wear. But a general etiquette is that you want to blend into the background as much as possible. You don't want to be seen too much because it's not about you, right? As a photographer, videographer, you're there to do the job and do it well. So you don't want to necessarily, you know, be flamboyant colors and, you know, wearing your tie-dye, everything like that. And then you mess around and garner too much attention for yourself. You know, so that's the first thing. Second thing, hygiene. Come on, man. Did you wash? Did you brush your teeth? Come on, man. You gotta know these things. Is your clothes clean? Are you wearing clean clothes? You know, you gotta listen, man. I know it sounds crazy that I even had to tell you this, but you'd be surprised how many people think that because they behind the camera, they could be musty. Come on, man. You can't be musty on the job now. You just can't. That's not a good look. I have you looking crazy every single time. So we definitely want to make sure that you're coming in presentable. You know what I mean? Get a haircut if you need to, you know, or shape up, whatever the case may be. You want to make sure you're presentable, you smell okay. You don't have to put on your crazy cologne. That's another thing in terms of etiquette. Cologne, right? That's the opposite side of it. You don't want to be musty, but you don't want to be too loud either. So I know you got the polo cologne and, you know, the ladies may like it, or, you know, the people you're trying to attract may like it, but it may be a little too strong. Some people's noses may be a little sensitive and you don't want to offend anyone, especially on the job. So, you know, a couple squirts of the cologne, that's all you need. A little, that's all you need. You good, you know what I mean? So, like I said, these sound like things I shouldn't have to tell people, right? But you would be surprised. I met a lot of musty shooters. No disrespect to none of y'all, all right? No disrespect. Some of y'all was musty when I met you now. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I done met some musty shooters in my day. I done met some dirty looking shooters. They might not have been musty, but they look dirty. Dingy clothes. You feel me? You had the white tee with that white one. It wasn't white no more. It's looking a little orange, a little yellow. Come on, man. And you thinking, oh, ain't nobody gonna see me. Nah, they gonna see you, man. You'll be surprised who's paying attention. I get told that all the time. You know, I like to dress down personally, as you can, you know, I'm wearing just nothing but the Adidas jacket today. You know, saying nice little hat on my head, still in the cold seasons. So I understand that sometimes you may not feel like you want to wear your Sunday best to a shoot. But me personally, I want to look as presentable as possible. Even if it is something like this. It's clean. Say what you want, it's clean. You know what I mean? So you ain't got to worry about that. So these are just certain etiquettes to have, you know, just in general in terms of hygiene. stuff like that. So you want to make sure that you're on top of that. The next thing, show up on time. Matter of fact, damn that. Show up early. You early, that means you ain't never got to worry about it on time. What's the saying? If you're on time, you late. I would be lying if I said I believe that specifically. But it's always a great habit to be early, at least 10, 15 minutes. At least 10 minutes now. Come on now. 10 minutes. You could be 10 minutes early to your shoot. It's no problem. No issues. Come on, man. That's all it ever takes. An extra 10 minutes. Go a long way. When it comes to etiquette, politeness. We running through them today. Politeness. You gotta be nice to people, man. I know there's gonna be times where it's tough. You may be going through something. It may be tough for you to speak. It may be tough for you to do your job properly. You may be dealing with a difficult client, a difficult situation, but you still gotta be as positive as possible in the situation. Be as cordial as possible and be as professional as possible. And professional means that sometimes you're gonna have to really be positive. Like I said, you gotta really be nice to people. That's just etiquette, man. These are general etiquette that goes with any field, not just videography, photography. You know what I mean? One thing we don't ever really want to talk about, but let's talk about it. Being prepared. Are your batteries charged up? One of my biggest mistakes early in my career, showing up to shoots with uncharged batteries. You need the batteries, man. You got a memory card. Is the memory card formatted? Good to go? Does it have space on it for your shoot? Do you know what you're shooting? You got lights? You got everything you're supposed to have? True story. When I was in college, I had to do a shoot for a project. It was like a grade. So I brought my camera. I was riding the MARTA train. I rode the train all the way to campus. As soon as I got off the train, I realized I didn't bring a memory card. Damn. Caught me slipping. This was like maybe 10 years ago now, but back then I wasn't checking for no memory card. I just assumed. You know what they say about assume, right? Make an ass out of you and me. And you ain't gonna make an ass out of me. You gonna make an ass out yourself. You feel what I'm saying? So don't never assume that you just have a memory card on go. Just make sure. When I pack my car up for a shoot, even if I pack it up the night before, that morning, I open the trunk, make sure all my stuff's still there. Just to make sure. I double, triple check. It couldn't hurt. That extra couple minutes go a long way. That could just be me. So, it's a lot of different etiquettes when it comes to shooting. Also, let's talk about permission. Do you have permission to shoot where you shooting at? When I was a young gun running and gunning, I ain't always had permission to shoot in these places I was at. We was outside shooting in parks, lobbies. Where else? The street, middle of the street, literally. Literally in the middle of the street. In front of restaurants, in front of buildings. Security telling you can't record here. What you know about hopping a fence to do a shoot? See, y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't come from the era where you had to hop a fence and do something crazy to get a shoot done. Come on, man. I know that's against the etiquette. But if you can get the permission, get the permission. It's so much easier to get stuff done when you have permission to do it. I know they say it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Well, that's cool until the police get involved. Then what? You can't ask for forgiveness from the police. At least if you look like me. You know what I'm saying? If you're one of the contemporaries, one of the others, maybe you're a little bit more lucky in that area. But I'm 6'4", tall, dark, and handsome. They see me hopping fences do anything. It's a wrap. It's over. You feel what I'm saying? So having that permission, I ain't gotta hop no fence. I go walk through the door. There's a lot of stuff out here, man. Come on now. Etiquette. We talking shooting etiquette, man. You know what I mean? When it comes to etiquette, you also gotta respect others. What does that look like? Respecting people's privacy, super important. Are you respecting their personal space? You don't want to be too close to people with the camera. You all up on them. You like right here with the camera. It's dangerous, man. I'm telling you. You don't want to make people uncomfortable. That's one of the biggest things as a photographer, videographer. You never want to make people uncomfortable with what it is that you're doing. Because once they become uncomfortable, they never going to book you again. It's never going to happen. You done lost the client. All because you was moving weird. So moral of the story, don't be weird. One of the biggest things etiquette-wise. Are you sensitive to the people's culture? Sometimes you got to shoot things that are outside your culture, maybe even outside your race. Are you sensitive to those facts? Are you just doing whatever you want to do? And culture is so much more than just a heritage. It could be a work culture. So like, let's say I'm doing a recap video for a law firm. For someone who is outside of my race, right? If I do this recap video and the first song you hear is Young Nudie, where's the etiquette in that? The respecting the client. They don't want to hear pieces of eggplants over they legal recap of their event. You feel what I'm saying? They professionals in a professional space. Come on, man. Let's talk about it. We're talking about etiquette, man. Being discreet as possible. Like I said before, when it comes to attire, but just in general, you don't want to be in other people's way. You all in front of the caterer trying to get the cake out. You dancing with the caterer. And see, you know, the cake fall on the floor. Whose fault is it? Come on, man. You got to stick with the etiquette, man. Being mindful. Being very mindful of everything going on in all part of your surroundings. Super important, super crucial. You want to make sure that you're not doing anything to make people uncomfortable, not damaging anything around you, not damaging your own equipment. Because that's another part of the etiquette too. You can't get the job done because you over here millie rocking with the camera and the camera fall right at your hand. Then what? You doing way more than you supposed to. How you talk to people. Like I said, it goes with being nice and being kind, being professional. How you communicate, convey yourself to people. I could easily get on this podcast and be like, God damn, you feel me? Tight shit. You hear me? But I don't. You see what I'm saying? I choose to be better than that. I can eloquate myself so much more, you know? But that's etiquette. We can't talk to everybody the same way. You can't talk to your mama the same way you talk to your client. You can't talk to your client the same way you talk to your homies. You can't talk to your homies the same way you talk to your pastor. And if you can, then more power to you. More power to you. That means you should be able to talk so good across the board that everybody understands what you're saying. But when you have certain relationships compartmentalized in your life, you know what I'm saying? You definitely got to make sure that you're speaking to people accordingly. And that's just etiquette. That's etiquette, man. I don't want to talk to no client and talk to them greasy. You know what I mean? I want to come back. I want repeat clients. I don't want to work with people just one time. That's cool, and I'm not mad at it. But the goal is to make sure that you keep coming back. And how are you going to do that if we can't have a conversation? You know, so that's etiquette, man. That's etiquette, man. So on top of etiquette when it comes to clients, etiquette with fellow shooters. I spoke on this on another episode, but, you know, we had a situation where we was shooting and we had a fellow photographer who was all in my shots. Where's the etiquette in that? Let's stay out of each other's way and make sure we're both succeeding in what we're doing. Etiquette, same things. Not being flamboyant, not being all over the place, not doing too much so that you are hindering my shots. If I'm a videographer, you're a photographer, stay out of each other's way. Let's be cordial to one another. Let's communicate how we can work together, because ultimately, if we're both booked on the same thing, we're working together, even if we didn't realize we were working together. Ideally, if my client needs a photographer on top of my videography services, I would just hire the photographer myself. and build that to the client. Because then I can have these conversations beforehand and I already have the amount of trust that I need to make sure the job gets done. But you're not going to always be in that situation. And when you're not, what are you going to do? Because it's vice versa. If I'm doing video and I'm all in the photographer shots, he's going to be looking at me like I'm crazy. So it's like you just got to make sure you're being respectful as possible to everybody and anybody in the vicinity of what you're doing. Some people don't want to be on camera. If you're shooting in public, not everybody want to be on camera. So you got to be mindful of the angles that you're getting to not necessarily get everybody in every shot. When I do events, I like to do testimonials. Some people don't want to do testimonials. I'm not going to beg them. I'm not going to force them. The etiquette is if you don't feel comfortable speaking on camera, I may ask you and I'm going to let it go. We're going to keep it moving. Because even if I were to force you, if I had the power or even felt the need to do that, I'm pretty sure whatever you gave me was going to be crap anyway. So respecting your wishes is also part of etiquette. So like I said, you don't have to be suited and booted up every day. You don't have to be overly stiff, but you just got to be respectful, courteous, professional in every area of your life. And if you do that in every area of your life, doing it in your business is going to be easy. It's going to be easy. There's nothing to it. Nothing to it at all. So, just making sure you're handling yourself accordingly, making sure you're handling your equipment accordingly, making sure that you're aware of everything going on in your surroundings, and just making sure you make everyone comfortable. Super crucial. You engage with people in ways that they feel comfortable. Like I said before, how you talk to your homies ain't the same way you talk to your client, but sometimes your client is your homie. So you don't have to be stiff with that person or you know what I mean? Just because they're paying you to do something. If they know you have a relationship with them, that's even better. You can be more of yourself. And I'm not saying that etiquette means don't be yourself. It just means be a more professional version of yourself. So even though you can talk to these people how you normally speak to them, you still have to direct them in a different manner. It's a fine line. You gotta direct them in such a way that they know, like, hey, I know you my dog now, but we're gonna do this way. We're gonna shoot it from this angle. I need you to do this. Make sure we get it right. And that's really your dog, he gonna respect it. If he really pays you and respects your time, he gonna respect it. But he's also gonna respect the etiquette that you gave him too. Because you really could have just sat back, smoking a Black and Mild or whatever you be doing. You know what I mean? Sipping on some liquor with the camera on. You just like, oh yeah, do whatever, bruh. Hey twin, go ahead and go this way. Yeah, go crazy. Go crazy. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta watch, man. You gotta make sure you're being mindful. Make sure that you're executing everything on a high level. Cause we want to be a high level, man. We a high level family. Me and you. You watching this, we family. And we a high level family, man. So I would never want to lead y'all astray. Just want to make sure that y'all are doing good out here, succeeding, prospering, and just being as respectful, courteous, and showing as much etiquette as possible. You know what I mean? So yeah, this episode has been about shooting etiquette. We about to go to break. When we come back, we're going to start on some trivia. But first, a word from our sponsors. This video is sponsored by Chop House Media Group. Now listen, podcasting is hard, all right? There's a lot of moving parts to a successful podcast, whether it be the shooting side, the post-production side, the audio mixing and mastering, just having the right strategy and know how to even get this podcast in the right places and getting it into the right positions to get monetized. And that is where Chop House Media Group helps out at. We have coined the phrase, the podcast in the box, where we pretty much facilitate anything and everything that you need to run a successful podcast, between the production, the post-production, the strategy, and the tips and tricks that you need to be 1,000% successful in every single aspect of your podcasting career. Now, if you are interested in being a part of this and making sure that you get your podcast to the next level, whether you are just now starting out your podcast or you are already in the podcasting field but want to take it to another level, be sure to hit the link below and schedule your free consultation with us to make sure that we get your podcast up and going further than you can ever imagine. All right, again, thank you to Chop House Media Group for sponsoring this video. And let's get back to the show. And we're back. All right. Shout out to our sponsors, Chop House Media Group. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into some trivia. So if you don't know how the trivia works on the show, this is how it goes. First things first, we have my producer Javane. Say what's up to him, Javane.
What's good?
You know what I mean? He's been acting up since he finally got a microphone these episodes.
Hey man,
but we ain't gonna
by
talk
time.
about that. You know, hey, we'll move past that. So look, we got Javane, my executive producer. He's gonna give me 3 questions. If I get 2 out of the 3 right, I get to keep my cash prize to myself until next time. So sorry. But if I get 2 out of 3 wrong, I will award a cash prize to you, the viewer, as a random selection. Now, to be selected for the cash prize, first things first, you must be subscribed to the YouTube channel, Chop House Media Group. That's the first thing. We only giving out prizes to people who subscribe to the channel. That's just the etiquette. You see what I did there? The etiquette that we bring out here on this show. Also, you got to make sure you comment below your favorite moment of the episode so you can be eligible for a cash prize. And then don't forget to like the video too, because that always helps. Thank you so much. So I'm closing my laptop officially. I don't know nothing about these questions. ChatGPT be the main one giving them to me. And
Yeah,
they kind of be on some foolishness. So, you know,
They
we
do.
definitely
they do.
here to rock out. So what we got? What we doing?
All right, so today, I got 3 questions for you again. There's a true or false and 2 multiple choice. So let me know when you're ready.
Let's
Go
make
ahead
it
and knock
happen.
them out. All right. So number 1, what is a key rule when shooting in public spaces to avoid disrupting others? A, always ask permission before setting up any equipment. B, only shoot between 12 and 2 p.m. Very random.
Okay.
C, you gotta bring in an assistant to manage bystanders. D, use as much space as possible for your shoot.
Well, I love that. I'm gonna go with A.
A, always ask permission before setting up any equipment. Is that your
Yes.
final answer, sir?
Final answer.
All right, you are 1-0. That's correct. Good job.
Definitely. Take up as much space as you need.
Don't do
Between
that.
12 and 2 p.m.
Yeah,
That's prime time. Nobody's around hour, depending
Exactly.
on where you at on planet Earth, I guess.
I mean, okay, Chad GPT. See
I
you.
don't know how any of that works. But
All right. Number 2, true or false? It is considered proper etiquette to send clients unedited photos immediately after a shoot. True or false?
I'm gonna say false final answer, but I also want to say that some clients be on some foolishness where they just be wanting it for no reason. Like, what are you gonna do with a raw file? Do you know raw like for
That
photos?
needs to be a topic for this show, because
Yeah.
I'm saying that as a joke, but like that is such a crazy thing. Like, when did we start this whole thing of clients asking for raw footage and raw photos?
They basically like, hey, in case I need somebody else to do this. But my whole thing is charge more. If they ask for
Yeah,
that, charge more
sell
for
the
that to
raw
compensate.
footage. Yes, sell it.
But yeah, I'm gonna go
You said
I'm gonna go
false, right?
Yeah, final answer.
You are correct. So we 2-0.
I'm keeping the money regardless. We can go for 3.
All right. Number 3. When working in someone's home for a shoot, what is one important piece of etiquette to follow? You have A, avoid using their bathroom. B, bring a small gift. C, ask before moving any furniture or items. Or D, take off your shoes at the door.
What was the question?
When you're working in someone's home, right?
Yes.
For a shoot, what is one important piece of etiquette to follow? Out of those 4 things, what's the
I mean,
best?
they're all relatively important. You don't want
Right.
to blow up their bathroom.
True.
Never.
True.
Nobody's gonna say no to a gift ever.
Right.
Um,
And then
taking your shoes off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I don't know. It depends on the house. I don't particularly. I have hardwood floors, I don't know why I'm telling you about my house, but I have hardwood floors, so I usually keep my shoes on. I usually walk around in slides, unless I'm on my. I have a rug that I specifically don't wear shoes on, but again, that's too much personal information. That has nothing to do with the question. And then the third one was like ask for permission to move furniture.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that.
Go with that?
Yes. Final answer.
Final answer?
Yes.
All right, that boy 3 for 3.
Boom.
Boom.
3P.
Bam.
3 Peats.
Bing, boom, bop.
I already made a Carter 3 joke.
Bam.
Woo wop bam. Hey. Peekaboo.
The type of stuff he on, y'all wouldn't
man.
understand.
Listen, man. Listen, I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, don't put it on me.
Put on Jet.
Hey, put it on Jermaine, man. Listen,
Hey, man.
comment below.
Open AI. They looking at you funny right now.
Man, don't look at me funny, man. I had no part of this. I purposely gave this position to Javane so that I wouldn't have a part in this. So y'all got a problem with it, you take it up with him. You know what I'm saying? Tag him.
And I'm going to send y'all to Chat GPT. Tag them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you be Chat GPTing it up.
Yeah. You got to use the AI, man.
Y'all use the AI, man. You got to use the AI. But listen, man, still subscribe to the channel nonetheless. Make sure you comment below your favorite moment of the episode. Like this video on top of that too. And this is it, man. That was it. You know, not too crazy, nothing too wild, but we want to make sure we hit y'all with a bunch of points as much as possible, man. So yeah, this has been Chop Logic. I have been Tevin El Chapo. My friends do in fact call me Chop. I can't make that up. And we'll see y'all next time, man. Peace.